Hey guys, it's Ness here at Cake Style. Today's video is all about breakfast inspired cakes. So I have whipped up a cute, adorable little donut cake, and I've also made a gigantic, huge slab cake that is a Pop-Tart cake. These were so much fun to make. I hope that you really enjoy them. I also want to mention that this video is sponsored by Yode. It's a gorgeous brand of wood watches. You can find their stuff on woodwatches.com. So not only are they sponsoring the video, but they're also going to be doing a giveaway. So I'll add the details in the description box for you, and I'll mention it again at the end of this video. But you can get $150 store credit, as well as free sizing and free shipping. Free shipping is worldwide, so if you're in Australia like me, or you're anywhere all over the world watching, you can enter this, which I think is amazing and so fantastic to be able to do. So these guys have got you covered. Free sizing means that you can do up your wrist measurement, and that way it arrives perfect and it fits you, which is so huge for me because I have tiny wrists and I really love to wear things as soon as I get them. So this was pretty awesome to arrive just perfect for me. There is a bunch of different woods. So this is the Frankie, and it's in dark sandalwood with emerald face. But there's a bunch of different faces. They have some gorgeous woods, maple, bamboo, they have purple heart, koa, and all of these are done sustainably or using excess. So it's quite environmentally friendly, which I absolutely adore as well. This competition to enter and give away is going to be running up until the 19th. And then at midnight on February 19th, they're going to be announcing the winner. You will also be notified via email if you don't win, so that you know for sure. But now it's time to get stuck into making these cakes. So I've made up some of my vanilla cupcake recipe, and I'm just putting it into some donut pans. Just probably used about 3/4 of the batter and baked those for about 25 minutes. Once they've cooled for about 10 minutes, you want to pop them out of their pans and go ahead and let them just cool down completely before wrapping them in cling wrap. And you can pop them into the fridge if you want them to be a little bit sturdier. To glaze this donut, I'm making some dark chocolate ganache. So that is 2 parts chocolate to 1 part cream. Boil the cream, pour it into the little chocolate chips, let them dissolve for about a minute, and then whisk them around to fully dissolve. And I'm going to allow this to cool down for about an hour and a half or so. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and level these cakes. So I'm just using a bread knife to cut off that little domed section. And I just want to dig out some of the cake, kind of like building a little moat, and I just want to use that as a way of adding our filling. So I want to do that to both cakes, and then I'm taking just some of my sweet buttercream with a little bit of vanilla, or you could add some strawberry, and I've tinted it in a pretty shade of pink. I'm going to pipe that in with a 1M round tip. Then I want to be really careful and stack them on top of each other. And now, taking our chocolate ganache, I'm going to use the back of a large spoon to just smear it over. This is where it's really important that it's cooled down a fair bit, because you don't want it to run or pour over the cake. Now, it's the messier the better with this, so don't worry about it being perfect. And then I'm going to top mine off with some giant jimmies, which is a kind of sprinkle that's quite long, and these are oversized ones that I just found at my craft store because it has a cake decorating section. Now we're on to the next cake already. That donut cake was honestly one of the easiest cakes that I have ever made. Now I'm going to take a slab cake. I used 1 batch of my vanilla cake recipe. I want to cut the cake in half. And then what I'm going to do is slide a cake board in between those very carefully so that I can flip one piece over, because it's really, really thin. And if you try to pick up a small thin section of cake like that, it's going to tear and crumble. So I'm using that as a way of dividing the cake in half, keeping it on this marble board that's going to be our finished board. So I want to go ahead on one of these cakes and apply the buttercream. So this is just my vanilla buttercream as well, and I'm just adding just a very small amount of it to one side. I'm choosing to do it on the side that has to be flipped over, because flipping over the jam is going to be a whole lot harder. So on the side that's already on the marble, I'm going to apply just some strawberry jam. And then I'm going to take the other cake and I'm going to flip it all the way over the top. You can push it into place a little bit. Now you want to go ahead and do a crumb coat on this cake. Now it can be kind of tricky to do a crumb coat on these because it's not very tall, so you tend to get a fair bit of frosting on there right away. But just do your best, because if you don't have very much on there, it's going to be so much easier to chill and lock in those crumbs. So once you've done the sides and the top, you want to go ahead and pop it into the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes before we get started on the final coat. The final coat is where you want it to be nice and smooth. These sides, I just found that they were really easy to make reasonably smooth, being so short. It's only about 1 inch high. And then for the top, just do your best. You want to work all the way out to the edges with your frosting, fill in the entire top, and then come back with your spatula and try and make it nice and smooth. This buttercream is tinted with mostly ivory food color. I added just the absolute tiniest amount of chocolate brown and a regal purple, which I know sounds really crazy, but the purple helps to get rid of the yellow, because I know ivory seems like it's really similar to yellow, but it ends up being a little bit too canary and a little bit fakey looking. So I went ahead and added just the tiniest dash of that. And then what I did was I took a little bit of this frosting and I added a lot more of the chocolate brown, and again just a tiny hint more of the purple, and I just want to dab that all around the edges, and that's going to help to make it look a little bit toasted. Now it's time to grab out that pink again with our 1M tip, and you just want to kind of freehand this. Like, I just sort of went for it. And this bit's really fun because you can just make it any shape you want. You just want it to look kind of drizzled and a little bit wriggly, just so that it doesn't look like a perfect rectangle. But just play around with it. Do the border, and then you want to go ahead and just fill it in as much as you can. I just find it's much easier to do this with the tip than grabbing the spatula and applying it on there. And I just find that it doesn't mix up the color underneath with the pink at all, doing it this way. If you're worried, chill your cake in between the pink, and that way it will make that process a lot easier. Next, I'm taking a bamboo skewer and I just want to make some holes and indents into the edge of it, just so it looks just a little bit more like a Pop-Tart. Then I went and grabbed some confetti, some edible confetti, and I sat there and I picked out the yellow and the pink to put it on this cake, because there is actually a Pop-Tart that looks like this called Pink Lemonade. Pink lemonade is usually made with like a lemon, and then pink is strawberry, so I kind of thought it went with the strawberry jam in the middle, and I just really liked those colors. So yes, I sat there and picked out all of those two out of a pack of confetti, but I think it was worth it because it turned out pretty adorable. And there you have it. We have our two gorgeous cakes. I think this is probably about the perfect size for me, so I'm going to take the rest of this. The kids can divide up the Pop-Tart. I don't know which one I love better. I gotta say, adding fresh strawberry jam into it was pretty amazing for the Pop-Tart. Yes, I've already had a slice. I want to say a huge thank you again to Yode for supplying me with this gorgeous watch and allowing me to do an amazing giveaway with you guys, and for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out the description box and you'll find an instant discount code for Yode watches of $25, and that's available to use until the 19th of February. Thank you so much guys, and I'll be back next week with another cool video.